Not sure how we got disconnected. I'm hoping that Lenny, can you tell everybody I'm live again? Look for me. That was a blow, but we know how to change it. Okay, so I will wait until everybody comes back again. I don't know what happened, but I think we got a quick recovery. Hello. Now, just hopefully everybody else can find me. There's no way for me to really go back and say, hey, because it did close down. That was it. Wow. So I'm so glad you guys found me. So now we just have to wait for Michelle to find me and Kathy. Whew. When I was on Blog Talk Radio, it didn't break down that much. But then when I tried to, I worked with two companies that had their own. And what was interesting was switchboards. And you had to really pay attention, be in control, talk as a presenter at the exact same time as reading everything, clicking on everything without losing it. And I got really good at it. So this pickup time was good, but I didn't save, if the connection breaks, come find me again. I'll click it back on unless we lose electricity. But I really not sure if, don't believe that's the case. My lights didn't flicker. Could be just the other side. That's no fun when it does that. It really isn't. So if I were to push this button, see what happens. Oh, whew. All right, we got a few people back. Michelle, there's no way to contact her, and same for the other person. Hopefully they will find me again. There's no guarantees on that. Well, right now we had a restart up, and I have promised 2 readings to 2 other people, and hoping that they're able to kick back in. This is, like I said, a first for us here about how to do this. Okay, so if you have ever seen that woman, Michelle, hopefully, you can tell her if she's related or friend-wise. And it's not there. Let's see how that goes. Okay. I'm just going to say, okay, so the question is, why did that happen? Well, then we can find out. Why did that happen? Why did we go off the air? And it was changing the compatibility energy. Well, I'm not surprised. Okay. Alrighty. While we're waiting for other people, did you guys understand the repulsion and the compatibility energy? That's what was important too. Going back. There's a panic. I don't know. There's Kathy. Good. I would say yeah. Being funny. Well, while we're waiting for, hopefully Michelle will find us, because her reading was next. And what was interesting is that it said that the word panic. Now, when we consciously are saying yes, sometimes our soul's energy will send out different vibes so that you can have a bitch slap, or you can have issues not receiving, however it goes. So I'm not surprised. Okay. I did respond about the eating. I don't even remember. Okay, Kathy, so women do a reading for you. I just don't remember where I'm at. We're going to start a fresh new. if that makes any sense. Fresh and new. Fresh and new. Stop sticking. Whew. All right, Kathy. That's right. I asked you if I had done a reading before for you. Arrested development. It's like when you get to a certain age and you get stunted growth, or you can't do a particular thing. And if that makes sense. So arrested development, there's a TV show. They didn't develop past a certain thing. So they're saying this arrested development. What we're going to do is we're going to hit go. 3 years old. What did you stop? Why? Why did you stop? What was arrested development? Because a particular outcome was demanded of you. And there was always an agenda by some other person. So you were unable to really develop who you are. And anger sat in that place. And anger then took over and stopped the development of using your intent, because there was a part of you that if you had the intention of wanting to do something and yet you kept being corrected, you would have to develop a certain type of behavior, thinking, and feeling in order to curb that particular part of who you are, because it's not accepted in the particular program that you had growing up. Does this make sense? So when it does make sense, you just let me know, because you again, this is new. You knew. They're saying as you started to break away, get older, start breaking away, you had put, first you started with anger. Okay, you have to curb yourself to thinking it, but then you also have to then become awkward. Hormones started to come in at a certain age, and they said about 14 and a half was, now I feel awkward, because there was that sense of identity that you would have developed, you hadn't developed. Now, we're not blaming anybody. This is your soul's choice of says, this is how I want to function, how I want to be, and how things are. So at 3 years old, making that choice is now, it's not, oh, hello, Mr. Moth. It's not about anger, which is buried and it is stored, is now developed into awkwardness. You may not even be aware at the age you are now of particular awkwardness, but this awkwardness energy is invading the spleen meridian, which then causes you to get confused about what to trust, who to trust, and you know how to trust, but it gets this, it just goes back into arrested development. And she says, yes. Okay. What you would address. So if you heard me, you would understand that there was a root, 3 years old. Your 3-year-old will, it doesn't matter how old you are, all of a sudden you're going to become that 3-year-old. Now, you may not show anger, but you'll feel awkward. And then you will go into this particular thing. So what you really want to do is, there's several different ways of doing this. One, you can just go back to being, going that 3-year-old self, and you can feel how you were stopped. You can feel that anger. Well, if so, you can use EFT to pull it out, or, make an appointment. We use hope therapy, and then we bring it down. But then you'll have to also go in and tap awkwardness. And it was all about you can't be you. So you also would have to address that. What? Fear something terrible is going to happen. You were... So did they put that in you, that feeling that, if I'm me, something terrible is going to happen? And yes, okay. that one. Before you do the others, take care of that one, because you had to use those as a form of safety blanket. What I teach my students is that a safety blanket is something you don't remove. You ask the soul, what are you willing to give me, so that we can release and build up your confidence, so that the safety blanket you will eventually just hand me. Now, I would say go talk to that 3-year-old and she'll tell you, but she's already has told you. She just, that I feel like that was part of your energy field, which now I'm not sure exactly what your words I used, but you can go back and at the timestamp to look at it. Remember, it's the second video, not the first. What do you mean age 7? Age 7 was the scariest. Did you abuse yourself? You can physically abuse yourself, mentally abuse yourself, emotionally abuse yourself. And even if you don't do it now, you need to go back and address those emotions. And with that self-abuse, understand why you had to do it. And they say that this is a, how do you want to put it? I call the mothership. It is the hugest thing where it's at the deepest level. And this is what happens. I go back to what we referred to in the beginning was you can have grief so much. And you can be sobbing and then, you've calmed down and out of nowhere, bam, you're like, you're back to it again. And then you calm down and out of nowhere, the memories and everything else comes back again. And then as you're trying so hard to survive this moment, that it stores so deep in the body as pain. The pain can be actual physical pain, mental, emotional, spiritual, or it can turn into a symptom. And sometimes that's why the body does not want to heal, because it's tied, and we could go deeper with this. We could actually see if it goes into genetics, soulful life. Yes. It means it's gone back, how many lives back? And it says 123 lives, that this particular pattern of not allowing yourself to be the medium, to be who you really are. So sometimes you'll have all these hits one after another and bam, you doubt yourself. And a lot of that has to do with that part of that will come back up. Now, when it comes to something as detrimental as that, I'll just give you another minute. When it comes to detrimental as that, understand that I was molested, okay? And you don't, one of the things I know as a kid was I took that experience and didn't want to think about it, and I cut it out of my life, and I threw it. I remember being a little girl, threw it out in the field. It wasn't until I was in my 30s, we're driving down the road, I'm looking out in the field, and holy shit, it came back, and it hit me with a ton of bricks. And I had to, and thank God I had tools, I had to address it. And when you begin to address the pictures with the eye accessing, the emotions, because it goes at such a kinesthetic level, then you can go in and use EFT, hope therapy. You use your tools. And sometimes it can turn into, like this said, where you're going to have to use a magnet down your governing meridian, is that you would have to understand that there's a hidden heart wall. So you would actually have to say hidden heart wall, then that emotion, and roll it out at 10 times or 3, so that intention is important to get it out, if that makes sense. So how you would abuse yourself, you have to understand your patterns. And when you go heal the patterns, that's why I give you your chance to heal yourself. But if you really want to move on the layers, boom, 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 you can ask Lenny. She, wonderful woman. She don't have a lot of problems, but she wanted to become the spiritual woman. And we'll just go in and dig in, boom, boom, boom. Why is this happening? Look at this, look at that. Everybody does it. And thank God, because you move, you grow, and you can become way stronger and better and healthier than you are now. You become more, you become less owned by your emotions and those pictures and those things. And you can move in a direction and have that body create a forgiveness where before it didn't want to. And then slowly the detachments happen. Okay. So as far as Michelle did not make it back, I take it. Yeah, that'd be great, Kathy. We can do a video. You can come see me in person. I'm in South Australia, so I'm not sure where you're from. And so there's one more person. Is that correct? Because Michelle's not here. So then she just told me, Linda, right here. Yes. Ha! Well, you're lucky day, my dear. We'll do this last one. And let's see. Do you have anything you want to talk about? Ooh, muffled in the ears. Whispering behind your back. God, you got people used to stabbing you in the back or something. Oh, so if any of that makes sense to you, I will go look deeper, because if it does, then we need to take those out. Okay, so there's always this delay. And there's always this delay. Yes, they do. Good. Ah, you're welcome, Kathy. Okay. Now, the energy as I'm going up your spine. There it is. So it's in the thoracic. Between the fifth and the sixth one. And it's a freaking long sword. Now, this was intentionally placed by somebody how many years ago? About 3.5 years ago. They were so what? They were so hysterical that they were just throwing shit around, and you happened to be the victim. So it wasn't really intentionally to you. It was you got the shards. So do you recognize anybody that's been hysterical? Now, I got to pull out hysterical, but I have to also pull out the overwhelm and the inadequacy, because that is your link. And usually when you catch people that are alive or dead, and you're going through anything emotional, it'll be like an open door, and it can actually draw stuff to you. And you have to breathe. And I'm going to connect into your field, because this is really has reached all the way down to your etheric body. Now, I'm curious, do you have any bladder issues that you can't get going in life? Or is it that you just feel paranoid? Or do you have any physical problems? Okay, here we go. This is a really old fashioned. It's a fat one. Okay, so I'm going to connect into that spot, and if your eyes are closed or whatever, if you feel like you're vibrating, your eyes are darting back and forth, that is the energy that comes from the bandwidth of the reconnection. And there's a couple saints there. Ooh. We're going to cauterize it, per se. We're going to make it as if nothing ever happened. All right, so now we're just going to take out those emotions. Hysterical. Oh my God. Overwhelm. Inadequate. Okay, now I'm going to get there. I'm going to get that spinal fluid going. Okay, so what I need you to do, we got to get that spinal flow going, is that you're going to, so which way, how do I do it? Spine is erect, and you're just going to breathe in, okay? And as you breathe out, you're going to tuck and round your back, because we got to get the pump from the tailbone and the skull to work. So, and then when you breathe in, keep your head back. Okay. Very good. Now we got to get that fluid going down into your second chakra area because of that energy. Now, is everything connected? Do we need to do that? All good. Here's your belly button. You're going to push in, okay? So you're going to go, you push in. Now do that about 6 more times. Okay. I need to check to see if it's moving. Oh, who has a little girl that she's not little anymore? She's older. I can see her. Hello. I can know she's seeing me, whether she's awake or asleep, but there's nothing wrong with her, but what do you call it? Not even really a learning disability. She's an incredible girl because I think she just astral traveled here. Hello. Interaction. You have a hidden. I know that. You have one too. Yes. All right. Everything is just recalibrating. I can't tell if I need to do anything until it recalibrates. That's the thing. And you can heal up to, any of you can heal up to 48 hours. Let's, while I'm looking at this, let's talk about expectation. Always live in expectancy, expecting something to happen. Now, if you draw a box, you expect this, and then you're going to miss your opportunities, or you're going to put your lens on it and then be pissed off later. Someone has an active memory. So, Linda, you have an active memory right now. 5 years old, a particular memory. You may not even be aware of it. It's like a bell going off. You know, when you hit a tuning fork or a bell, it goes, and then you don't hear anymore. It's still ringing. That's what's happening to you. We're going to take this, and then we'll be done. So we're going to take that. You're going to use your hand, because I can't remember if you were here to see the other. So this is going to be your magnet, okay? Unless you really have one. What is the bell made of? 2B. Failure. Oh, that's going to affect my digestive system. Yep. Sorry, I did not mean to burp. Oh, okay. I'm observing, not absorbing. We're going to remove this bell. I can tell you where it's located. I think you already know for yourself. Take your hand. You are going to think bell, failure, many times do you want us to do this? 3. Intention, bell, failure. Ooh. Bell, failure. Is that bell still there? No. Okay. All right. Any feedback, my dear? Olivia, live. Their signal just came in. Said hello and then giggled and left. Some would classify it as a learning disability to some degree. I don't know if that means it's not autism, it's not Asperger's, it's just the variations of different things about grasping vibrational reality. If that makes any sense. So Linda, anything? My hand it has, okay. So I'm assuming your hand is numb, or is it just dumb? If it's numb, which one? It says that you have a fear of being out of control. Oh, guess I can't cross my legs in this little tiny spot. Okay. Tingly all over. And where did my screen go? Miss Lenny, where'd she go? There she is. Okay. Tingly all over. It could be still the reconnection going. Yeah. Your soul's like, oh my God, somebody's listening to me. So it wants to continue talking. Again, if you want more services, then, just go to my website, book something, come back on, share, put your name in the box. Maybe you get lucky again. So does that mean, but the word but is in belief under transition. But I'm happy at the moment. Okay, so we can consciously be anything, but if your body's tattling on you, if that makes any sense. Oh, that's right. You haven't, that's right. I'm sorry, I haven't seen you in a while. My connections of people. No, it took her 2 seconds to do that. Come say hello, and she remembers, and I remember interacting with her. I think it was Lenny's shower. Yes, I believe that was it. Her energy was really talkative. People's energies, there can be a lot of people's energies that will just communicate, and especially when somebody gets them. Like little kids will come to me, or how do I put it? Maybe Lenny can share the story sometime. Why is my thing doing it? Before she gave birth, her daughter was already talking to me, and then after she came out, and she can't move her lips like, hey, how you doing? But her soul would continuously always talk to me, if that makes sense. She did come in and say hi. I mean, it was right here. We already connected once, so that those energy cords, there's no such thing as time and space when you're operating at a frequency that beautiful. And so that's why she just was able, I recognize her, and then shows right up. So that was beautiful. Hopefully she heard me. That's good. Oh, thank you. Appreciate all that. Okay, so I completely don't know how to look at time because I have no idea what the first video timestamp was. we wanted to do just an hour and a half. We want to do expedite. So sometimes during the show, so we can show others what this work is, then you can expedite it and pay for a certain session to be done. And then it tells the time and it tells the amount. And then since you already started to know to work with me, then we can just go boom, 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 boom. If I have to explain the instructions, then it'll take some time. But other than that, there's also videos that talk about the instructions, especially the Hope Therapy one. I think there's another one that talks about how to roll. If you're going to be with me in other events, make sure that, it's good that you can use your hands, but sometimes your energies can be so messed up. Just a regular fridge magnet will do the trick. So if you have one of these, have it next to you. Now, I don't invade your space. Your energy just hangs out there, and your soul says, hey, come here, talk to me. And like a lot of times, they'll just talk to me when I'm not even listening. And then all of a sudden, I'll be wondering what will happen. Oh, thank you very much for the compliment. Well, I imagine, Olivia, that she would be fascinated because is there a certain age you recommend? I'm not sure what that question means. Any age to communicate and to talk. Now, when their soul really connects to that vibration, they'll feel their tribe. They'll feel that vibration that they're being communicated with, and they're important. Whereas, and physically, they may not even be aware of it, but inside, they're like, I know you can hear me. I mean, little Lilu is amazing. She's up doing her thing. She's like, but I know you're listening. I'm like, yes, young lady, I am listening. And so right from the start, she was just amazing. Yes, you can source all the price listing on my website at bpowermw.weebly.com. Lenny, how are we doing in time? Like I said, I have no idea. I've lost my, I don't want to say I lost my way, but when Spirit came in and did that thing, that's all right. It happens. And everything happens for a reason, and there's no sense of blaming, hurting anybody. I love to teach spirituality. I would love to get some classes going. And they're fun, they're exciting, and usually they'll last for about 2 hours, and we really get in. The more people there is, the more then I will pick out an issue, and we will talk about it, and then we'll do individual type of readings, or pick one person usually, and then we will look at it as a healer, as a human, as a spiritually ascended human, which is all I would like you to do, is to learn how to be empowered, to be you. And when you become empowered to be you, you learn to listen to Spirit. You learn how to become an ascended spiritual human. Okay, so we have gone over time, which is not a big deal, but I really appreciate Lenny for giving up her time. She has that little sweet one at home, and I really appreciate you following me, since we weren't able to stay on that other one. And yes, what's funny is I can look at the clock and I still can't see time, but if I can gauge it and then see, like, that's good. People have told me now that it adds up. Okay, I forgot what time I had started. No, I know. Again, share, do whatever you need to do. Help me to stay on the air and to get moving and do what we need to do, because I really feel it is our time. It is our time to stand as a tribe and to heal. And every time you heal me. And every time I heal me, I heal you. And if we can inspire each other, and I grab your hand, hoist you up, you grab me, and you hoist me up, we're going to get to that vibrational level of an amazement. And you'll become more of a spiritual human. And not just being a human in ego, but you'll be able to look at life in a whole different manner without having those emotions attack you. So we had a great time. And I love to see repeating names. I love to see new names. And, really, really proud to be a part of this world and this group. Oh, it only took, 5 years, but I got here. All right. I love you all. And we will see you Tuesday, right? Yes, Tuesday. Now if I can get my little button to go. All right, stay blessed.